I have this very specific memory of a young man asking something between the lines of, how can I serve God if all I do is play football? Do I need to leave this behind if I want to follow him? For some reason, his question stuck with me. I suppose that he was asking because he assumed that you can only spend time with God through very specific ways, like worshiping at church, through prayer, or by sharing a sermon. I later came to the realization that I saw a little bit of myself in that young man. Many of us worship in fewer ways than we could be doing it, and not necessarily from a lack of intention. Have you ever gotten a task from God? Or has He ever placed a dream in you? Is there anything that you want to build, create, or share? If your answer to any of those questions is yes, then you have already identified ways in which you can serve your Father. And I understand that it might seem weird to hear that you can serve God through science or content creation or fashion if that is a dream that He placed in you. But let me tell you, both service and worship will always be more of a heart posture than it could be an action. It will always be more about being than doing. And it will always be more about your relationship with God than anything else. As a creative person, I tend to enjoy those Bible verses that speak of creation. For example, in Exodus, we hear about how Bezalel was filled by the Spirit of God so that he could go out and create or design anything, teaching others how to do all sorts of creating things. That same Spirit could be guiding you in creating. It is from Moses that we hear these words, and I find it amazing that just a few verses before, Moses himself got very specific instructions on how to create something for God. Colors like blue, purple, and scarlet, textures like wood, yarn, and leather, smells from olive oil, spices, and incense. Clear specifications on how to build for Him and how to make an offering to Him. In that same way, through closeness and communion, you and I also receive instructions. For some of us, they can be shaped as a passion, a hobby, or a dream. Take me as an example. I've been passionate about music for a long time, so it was easy for me to find a way to spend time with God through playing the piano or the guitar. The same thing happens with filmmaking and storytelling. That passion is the reason why I can glorify God through a video like this. And keep in mind, to glorify is only to reflect someone else's greatness. So when you design, dance, or write a poem, there is an opportunity for you to reflect God's greatness, even if the medium isn't as evidently holy as prayer is. Just to give you an example. In reality, everything that you do opens that opportunity, especially when acting from a place of reverence and excellence. When I think of Jesus before His ministry started, I like to think that even His craft as a woodworker reflected and honored His Father. Searching for excellence is the beginning of a search for God. Train yourself to be godly and godlike. Set an example for others in speech, conduct, physical activity, or whatever it is that you love doing. Do not neglect your gift. Instead, give yourself entirely to it so that everyone may see your progress and that you might inspire others to do the same. So this video, this effort, this is my response to obedience. This is my response to a dream that was once placed in my heart. This is a form of personal ministry, and this is also an invitation for you to be part of it through your own gifts and your own testimony. This is Created Creators.